Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing some Outlaws of Thunder Junction drafting. So let's get into it. All right, let's see what we opened up. Got triple rare uh, booster. Flame jumper is okay. Nothing special. Great train heist can be good, but it takes a lot of setup. And I just love Outcast or Trailblazer. So as for other good cards, Shoot the Sheriff is great. Uh, Prime lands are always good, but this is easy. Outcast Trailblazer. Now this is a interesting pack, mostly because there really isn't a good green card. Bristle Pack Sentry is just okay. Um, and despite blue not being good, I do really enjoy Repulse as it just a great card. Riku is but you can build around him. Founding Felidar is pretty good if you can, cast it and attack with it. Uh, but better than Repulse, and probably just the land, maybe Thundering Salvo. But I'm going to take a flyer on the Repulse. If I want to be in a blue deck, it's either blue-green or blue-black. As far as what we got here, Territory Forge, I haven't played with it, but it looks bad. But Spinewood Paladin is a great card. Really help you stabilize. Now this is kind of interesting. Lila is a card that if you get it early and are able to build around it, it can do a lot of work, but other than that, it's kind of bad. Plus you're playing blue-red. Really nothing else. Former Posse is just okay. Highway Robbery is okay. Fake Your Own Death is okay. So it's pretty much a easy Dance of the Tumbleweed. The good in the green deck. Now, I guess I talked about Lila, and Hypothesis is exactly the card you want to see in a Lila deck, but now there's a good Ambush Gigapede, which is one of my favorite black commons. Usually a 2-for-1, if not more. This is a really good pack, and it shows me that black and green are both kind of underdrafted. So I'll put the Repulse into sideboard now, but yeah, Servant of the Stinger is good. Vault Plunder is probably one of the top commons. Giant Beaver is good. And Voracious Varmint, well, not good. I like it as a 2-drop, and in some matchups, being able to take out that artifact and enchantment is. But I'm just going to take the Vault Plunder because it's real good. Uh, Easy Snakeskin Veil. I love Desperate Bloodseeker. It's probably my favorite 2-drop common that it just does so much. Pretty easy Raven of Fell Omens. Get Prime lands, it'll be real good. Crystal Pack Sentry is okay. Don't really have Riku. It's a card that I really want to play with, but probably just not the right choice. So go Bristol Pack. Nothing for us here, so Turning Peddler. I guess get the ranch. Ranch. I feel like I'm in Montana. But no, this is a real good start to a black-green deck. Would like to see a couple more 4-power creatures just for the Outcast Trailblazer and some Crime Land. Um, but this is a great start, and uh, depending on what we see pack 2, we might even splash because we have some fixing. We got Stoic Duplicator, which doesn't really fit what we want to do. Reti doesn't fit. Void Ren, no. I loved Train Ernix. Probably that and Desperate Bloodseeker are my best 2-drops. Uh, just because this does so much, but we're not playing white, and I don't really want to move into here now. But Giant Beaver does pretty much everything what we want to do. There's also a Rooftop Assassin, but that's more of a 21st, 22nd card. This is an interesting pack because Dance of the Tumbleweeds, I love this card. Rictus Robber is a little bit. At worst, you're paying 3 mana for a 4/3, which ain't bad. Best, you're getting a 2/2 to go along with it. Given that, and the fact that I already have a dance and no crime lands, going for the Rictus, but I think they're both kind of comparable. Now here is another kind of interesting choice. We could get another Desperate Bloodseeker or a Bristling Backwoods, which is great. It's a tough choice. I'm going for the Desperate Bloodseeker just because outside of the dance, I don't really have desert synergies yet, and this is just a premium 2-drop, and I want all the 2-drops I can. This is a little bit more interesting. Forsaken Miner is kind of replaceable. Rover Grizzly can be good, especially since I already do have the Outcast Trailblazer, and I think I want another 3-drop before I get my third 4-drop, just because 4 and 5 and 6 drops are a lot easier to pick up than 3 drops. Here, there isn't really much. Stoneforge Mystic, great card, just not here. Not really in the deck for Nezumi Linkbreaker. Really, the best card here is Hailstorm Summoner. And if we get some fixing with what we're already doing, I could very much see us playing it. Here, I actually like the Ankle Biter just because of the Death Touch, but given the choice between an Ankle Biter and Servant of the Stinger, Stinger just has a lot more upside. And again, the Bristleback set entry is fine, but especially with all of the 4-power creatures we have, but the upside of the Stinger is just a lot better. Ooh, this is... You see, it's packs like this that really tell me black is a lot more open because you have Vault Plunder, which is great, and Shoot the Sheriff, which is also great. Can't hit everything, but it hits everything but the Sheriff. Oh, and the Sheriff. Okay, that was a very bad joke. But Shoot the Sheriff, especially since we don't have that much removal right now. Vault Plunder is easy. Rooftop Assassin. This is something we could cut. And I'm going to throw the other one in there now. Skullduggery is something that could play. I'm not as high on it as something like Subtle Strike, which is absolutely amazing. Skullduggery, it looks like it reads like a Subtle Strike, but be able to target only one thing is great, and +1/+1 counter is absolutely amazing. So Skullduggery is okay, but it's a it's sort of a tricky thing because it reads a lot better than it is. All right, let's see. Void Slime. This is not a great pack for us. The only thing really for us is Giant Beaver. And again, we really haven't gotten any crime lands. Ooh, this is really interesting. We have a Throw from the Cell, which is great. Outcast Trailblazer, which is great. Consuming Ash, which is great. And we don't have a lot of removal. We really only have to Shoot the Sheriff. And given the black and green we've seen, it's more likely that it was an open than anything. But the Outcaster Trailblazer is just too good. Honest Rustine, great in any black green deck, and really any deck that can play it. Now we will have to be careful because we really only have 3 pieces of removal, and one of them Skullduggery. I guess 4 if you want to use Snakeskin Veil as a combat trick, but really only Shoot the Sheriff and Ambush Skoogapede, and Rooftop Assassin might actually get played just because that extra. Now this is interesting. We don't have crime lands, but we do have 2 Outcast Trailblazers and Dance of the Tumbleweeds. So we could very easily play Oko the Ringleader. And I do like splashing in this format. Because, it doesn't really do any removal. It's just a good, strong card. And I think I am going to
I have a job to do.
Take it. And it talks. I'm going to take the Desert Dude because I already have a Shoot the Sheriff. Though we don't really have any deserts. Taking the Roaded Cannon just to give us some desert and crime. Plus we have the Oko, so it's not that bad. Easy Consuming Ash. Yes. Stuff Between Worlds is good. And got the Rooftop Assassin now. Overall, this is looking to be a pretty strong deck, but like one more desert that can. Ooh, Mourner Surprise. I love me Mourner Surprise. That'll probably take out the Skullduggery. Guess that doesn't really matter. There were not a ton of deserts flowing about. You really got the feeling that an Desperate Bloodseeker, so we can get rid of the Raven. I'll take the Boombox. Flash. But yeah, there were some deserts going about, but I didn't really see any going late, which means someone was really aggressively drafting the deserts, because usually you'll see 1 or 2 of the off-colored deserts wheel. Repulse is an interesting case, but I don't think we want it in this step. That's 8/7. I do kind of wish we took the Lush Garden earlier when we did, but that we didn't know we were going to be flashing blue, and that was I think third pick. So, but overall, yeah, it's a good deck. The mana is a little bit wonky, but yeah, I think the most dangerous thing is just having the one blue source. But considering we have Dance of the Tumbleweeds and the Outcaster Trailblazer, you sort of throw in a blue mana if we need to. We can sort of say, okay, we're risking Oko being a dead draw, but it's at such a power that if it's a dead draw, if it's the dead draw, if it's not, it's going to be really good for us. So with that, let's get into the games. All right, game one is Jake the Snake. We have Oko in our hand, which is good because that means if we get our Outcaster, we can use it for mana. But this is otherwise a really good hand for us. Anything with 2-drop and is great in my book. So we'll just leave it on the forest. But yeah, this should be a good matchup. Let's see what colors, green or red, or both that they're playing. So it looks like green, and those are two really good cards to mill, just because. And they have so let's hope that they don't have playing with 4 power, because if they do, they can get out of hand quickly. And we're just going to search up our eroded canyon. And hopefully get Oko online and alright, Free Strider Commando is not threatening. Really a filler card. And here we're just going to kind of start making the elk army.
I'd like to meet a dear friend of mine. I always have a trick handy.
So you draw a Nar card, we can put down a Spinewood Paladin, which, you know, getting a 5/4 that can attack on the turn comes in is great. Especially since Oko has X-proof, but they do have that 5/5, so. Just trade the elk. Okay, so that is a little bit more worrying, but the good news is we have to shoot the sheriff for Spinewood.
Prey becomes predator.
That's ward. So I kind of want to do that now. Then I can just pass, block the Free Strider, and
Would you like to see
probably
a magic trick?
throw off the Snake and Veil on the elk just to make sure that it survives combat against the dinosaur. Make attacking with the Hailstorm Summoner a lot trickier. Now this is a risk because they do seem like they have some sort of combat trick, but the risk that Thor need to take, just because I think Oko has such upside. Yeah, they do have explosives. So not too bad. I think the key thing is going to basically saying they're putting a lot of effort into trying to kill this, and one, two, five, six. And we're not going to attack. Well, we're probably going to lose Oko. I think the key thing here is we can trade for the Scalestorm Summoner, trade with the Dinosaur. We're down to 2 cards in hand, and you know, come back with a Spinewood Paladin, a Mourner Surprise to get back anything we want, and we're still at a relatively good life total. So let's see what they here. I think the key thing is if they have a removal spell for the Bolt Plunder, that is when it can get a little tricky, just because they could start drawing us in dinosaurs. Now this is a very interesting attack, because I will make that trade all day. I get an Oko for another turn. I can get an Elk. Now the 8/8 will be a problem. I actually think, do I want to get anything back?
I'd like you to meet a dear friend of mine.
I think the Mourner Surprise is actually better here, just to get back a Bolt Plunder, given what they have, and put out the Giant Fever. Just because it gives us a little bit more
Now, isn't that
blockers to work with, and depending on how they want to attack this Oko, and maybe even find a way to keep her around for another turn to get one more Elk, but given the board state, yeah. They're spending a lot of time and resources trying to take it out, and which they need to. key now is probably going to be finding our consuming ashes to take this out, which will also get scry. No reason to do my blacks yet. Scry here.
Off to more successful ventures.
As for their last card, hopefully it's a land. Oh. You know what? Speak of the devil and you will be rewarded. Which is exactly what we're looking for. The question is where to fire off the consuming ashes now. They might have a snakeskin veil in hand or in their deck. If it's in their deck, every time that you give them to do that, this is another draw that they should draw. Given they block like that, I am just going to fire this off now. That Rictus Robber is going to be real good here, and the Narval Thunder is going to be good here as well. Laughing Jasper Flynn will be a problem. And Crime and Punishment is probably the card that they've been holding on to. So this becomes really kind of so what we're going to have to do here is basically draw that, because we don't want them to have that. Draw again, and hope that they don't get anything too good here. So that's not likely. Yeah, especially they got Honest Frets team, they can get back any other creatures. So is not looking good so far. The key thing is lasting Jasper Flynn. We don't really have any removal left in our deck, so the only thing kind of do is hopefully, yeah, I mean, they had a really good deck. The Storm Scale did a ton of work, even though we had Oko. And the other big thing is lasting Jasper Flynn will probably just deck us out in a turn 2. We don't have any more rules, so that'll probably be it. Well, on to the next one. That is the one turn about playing a lower removal deck like this with only a couple pieces. If you're not being overly proactive, you can just get trounced down by, a bomb that you can't answer, and they don't have to risk in combat like Laughing Jasper. A little bit of a risky piece, but we do have Servant do have Desperate Bloodseeker, and if I need to catch in Servant for a forest, I have no problem doing that, especially with 2 giant beavers in the back. They could also, especially if we, the Oko. They could have removal for it, but looks like they do not. Great. Grab a forest, and we can turn to Oko, or if we need to Consuming Ash, we can. That the fact that they Smuggler Surprise for 3 tells me that they don't have. They might have a hand they like, but they're missing something, and it looks like they're missing creatures. But they can sort of go out and play Vicious Varmint, Hard Bristle, 3/3. I think I'm just going to, as much as I would like to get Oko down, given that they've put out a 3/3, have a bunch of attackers, really haven't seen any removal, I am just going to plot the Trailblazer, go for it and Giant Beaver next turn. They attack with the Voracious Varmint, I will just block. They have a trick, they have trick. I would much rather than they use it to save their varmint than if all they have is hey, that's another reason I didn't put out Oko, is they're a little too wide right now. What I would really love is grab a 2-drop. Rank Q, better lucky than good, as they say. So I can go put out this. I'll just grab Big Green, play out a Giant Beaver, draw a card, and then I can Desperate Bloodseeker. So that ended up being a really good turn for us. They don't have any more removal. We can Giant Beaver again to draw another card. The one thing we don't want is for them to have another throw from the saddle, which they very well could have, because you know I feel like I'm calling plays. Be a 2-drop, draw a 2-drop. We don't want our throw from the saddle. They have throw from the saddle. That just makes everything a lot trickier. A difference between a 5/5 Giant Beaver and a 6/6 Giant Beaver might not seem big, but it probably means we're going to have to Consuming Ash it. You know, it's not something we don't want to do, but it's not really the play that we want to be making, especially when they're so wide. Good news is we keep drawing Desperate Bloodseekers. You know what? I think I want to hold back on this, especially if we're going to battle up the Giant Beaver. And that is a third throw from the saddle. So now the Sterling Keykeeper will be really annoying just with the fact that they didn't do that now. So the reason I'm doing this they put us in a really tricky situation, because if I doing Ash before blockers, they could just Sterling Keykeeper away blockers. The fact that they didn't do that. So what I'm actually going to do here is kill it now, because I know that they don't have Snakeskin Veil. I can do this, and then I can draw
I believe you can stop me. Crime always.
And
You're
you
falling
can
behind.
make a argument that you want to get the elk down as soon as possible, but the way I see it is if you can draw 2 cards when you have the chance, especially with Oko the Ringleader, that's something you want to do.
Prey is predator. Always.
Especially when you can get down the 7/7 elemental, and it looks like they're just kind of flooding out there. That's probably why they went for the smuggler sash, was they had a lot of land in hand, and they just needed creatures to do something with. Overall in that game, I think if they didn't flood out, they put themselves in a very good position with those 2 throw from saddles. But the key is knowing your outs, knowing your plays, and knowing how to use luck to your advantage. So this is a good hand. We can turn 2 Bristleback, turn 3 Drover, turn 4 plot Spinewoods, which is just a really strong card, and unless they have a lot of interaction or a bomb, it will be hard for them to catch up, because it's doubtful that they have creatures that are going to be as big as early as our creatures. Again, we're drawing Oko, which is always good to see. Now that's interesting. Red Rock, rarely see. So, given I have Honest Rutstein, I have the Spinewood, I'm just going to throw in there. This isn't a great thing. Red Rock is honestly kind of bad, even though you can draw cards with it and do stuff with it. It's not good, and they're playing 2 of them. The only thing I can see is that they're probably playing all the colors and are really just in need of victory, which means I have to be on the lookout for bombs. Heck, there was free Honest Rutstein, get back to Drover, Grizzly. and we put ourselves in a good position. And that is exactly the type of bomb I am talking about. Roxanne is probably one of the strongest cards in the set. So what that means is you're going to have to play around it a little bit differently. What I want to do is have them attack. Because if they think that they can attack with Roxanne and this is exactly why Snakeskin's Veil is so strong. Now what we're looking for is a blue source for Oko. And this was sort of what I was talking about when we were drafting him. It can get stuck in our hand, but as you've seen in the first two games, he's really strong when he's really strong. Really strong. Yeah, really strong when he's really strong. No, it's really strong when you can get him down. Yeah, I'm just trying to play out the land. No reason not to right now. There is an idea. Okay, anti-flash. So like I said, they're playing a lot of colors, and they're just looking to play make stuff yeah. No block. And we're getting a little flooded, which is not what you want. Especially in this deck, since you have a lot of and you know, as I'm talking about the Red Rock Sentinel not being that good, it's drawing them cards, and they have a really good deck. It basically they're relying on a lot of fixing to get it done. That's probably going to be it, since we also a little too late. And like I said, at the start of this, we had a really good hand, but it was really, do they have bombs? And they have the bombs. If you can play anti-flash, he is great. They have Bristlebud Farmer, Roxanne, probably one of the best rares in the set. And they're just have it all, so about do it. So we'll kind of have to need to go on a run here for want to do anything else with it. And I think that last game too, we got a little map flooded, and wasn't seen. And right here is kind of a single swamp, good hand, no swamps, bad hand type thing. So we'll mulligan that, keep 6, and put back a Grover Grizzly. Hopefully we draw one more land and this becomes really good. And we do have the deserts too, so if they have something with 2 toughness, we might just that tells me that they probably have some sort of removal spell. Not ideal, but yeah. They have murder, can put this down. Don't have anything I really. It's a interesting question. I think I'm going to keep back as blocker. I was thinking about whether or not to attack it. It's tough because if I go for it now. Actually, let's think about this. I think actually I will attack on the basis I sack it, I get Oko. Yeah, they have to go there. I'm willing to trade a 1/3 2-drop for a 4/3. I got a 2/2 out of it, but it is what it is, and now I'm in a good position. I can get pristine down to get back to servant if I want. I can play the giant beaver. I think the nice thing about the Servant of Stinger, if I get back with Honest Rusting, that is kind of telling them that I really want whatever a certain card in my deck. It'll force them to either make blocks they don't want to make, or use a removal spell on it when they probably would prefer to use a removal spell on something else. Exactly what I was talking about, Consuming Ashes. I got that out of their hand for basically 1 mana. Exactly the sort of thing that likes them to get rid of. Okay, we just play Giant Fever. We have a Desperate Bloodseeker, kill them, and we have Desert Duja, and they have Final Showdown, so kind of far away, but you know, it's something, depending on how long this game goes, could have been backbreaking. No, it's fine. they can attack with that. Because what I'm going to do now is and okay, yeah, that probably was a mistake. No, thinking back on it, but what my thought process was they might double block the giant beaver, and I wish I kept the land now, but okay, this is interesting. Because I'm not going to be blocking with either of those. So if I can get him to or block with, yeah, this is exactly what I want. I can come down with Oko, start making elves,
majestic creature.
and I got rid of the two creatures I would have trouble blocking. And with the way this is, you know, if I can get 2 elks out of Oko, I'll be ecstatic. Looks like they probably have a Mourner's Surprise, judging by that. Oh, Iron Fist Pulverizer. That is better. The question is, I don't have anything. So I actually think I am going to attack here. They have a lot of cards in hand, and I need to keep the pressure on. And I'm not going to.
You're falling behind.
Make it creature. Just make it our elk. Play this, creature died.
Your obituary will be quite drunk.
Because we know they have, you know, strong cards in their deck. They just have to. We know we got rid of the final showdown and the Hollow Marauder. And they have another Hollow Marauder. Now, if they attack the Oko, that's going to be an interesting decision. Because, yeah. Because if they attack the Oko there, they're sort of going shields down. And I think I would just snap back and win. What I'm actually going to do, I have 1, 2, 3, so I play the Giant Beaver, make Oko the Giant Beaver, they block there, then they block one of the Elks, and that would be 7 damage. Which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to attack with everything.
You'll never guess what happens next.
It seems like they don't have a ton of creatures, just by the way that they've been playing stuff out, and I could, if I'm at one like next turn, I could very well just have one of my creatures sneak in. Conduit. Well, actually, let's see how many lands. So they have 7 lands on the battlefield. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7. So 12 lands. 13 lands left. Probably playing 17. So 4 lands. So unlikely that they have a land card in their hand, but it is possible. Especially with the scrying. Okay, Living Dirt is interesting because that can get them the drops. Can it? No, they don't have, they only have 1 2-drop. They don't have any 2-drops in their graveyard, it looks like. Ah, but they do have a Desperate Bloodseeker. So I guess we're looking for Shoot the Sheriff then. Okay, I'm making all the predictions. So we just kill Desperate Bloodseeker and attack for the win. I feel like I should go into the sporting record, maybe buy a lotto ticket today with the calls I'm making. And we're really getting all mythic opponents today, which is kind of unusual. Usually, half the time I'm playing against like Plaid and Diamond players mostly. So this is a risky keep, but we're on the draw. We have a Vault Plunder in hand, Ambush Gigapede, some strong green cards. It's one where it's not the hand I want, but I will play this over, you know, a random 6-card hand. We will need to get that green source, but Vault Plunder should be getting us there. Actually, more than a green source right now, I would kind of want one of our Desperate Bloodseekers just to get something on the board. Yeah, Swamp's not what we wanted, but it's fine. If their best to play on turn 2 was Stirring Peddler, that is a little bit more concerning. Especially when we're starting to see, this was sort of the risk with the hand, but it was a hand that I would always keep, just because, you know, I had something that I could draw cards with, had a lot of strong cards. But, you know, just keep drawing green cards. That is interesting that they're not playing I guess they're probably worried about so just get rid of the drover. Yeah, not the hand is not playing out how I really wanted it. Like I said, needed forest that I could being on the draw and having the vault plunder felt pretty good. Considering we have 8 forests in the deck, the odds were in our favor, but you know that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, it's a shame because I do like the deck. I'm a big fan of the Outcast and Trailblazer. Nothing worse than feeling kind of losing to Mana Screw. All right, that will just about do it for the video. Hope you learned something, enjoyed some of my crazier predictions, and yeah, thanks.